Notice we have no units left. We just have numbers. So now we're going back up to the top. Power final is equal to 150 kilowatts. Do not lose those units, okay? Otherwise you won't know what the units are when you get done. And 15 times 60 divided by 200, if we take our calculator, that turns out to be 4.5. So we're going to take this e to the 4.5 power. Notice no units up there with the 4.5 because they all crossed out. So now it's important, what we have is 150 kilowatts times e to the positive 4.5 because it was a positive 200. If you get a negative, that means that this overall power is going to be going down. But we've got a positive there, so we expect to have a power final greater than our 150 kilowatts since we're increasing this reactor power. All right, so now the important thing is that you use your calculator right and calculate what e to the 4.5 is. So for most calculators, you punch in, you either hit the e to the x button and then put in 4.5, or you take 4.5 and hit e to the x depending on your type of calculator. And you should end up that we have still the 150 kilowatts, but e to the 4.5 should come out to be 90.0. So what's this mean? Before we ever just do the numbers and get confused with the numbers, our initial power, which was 150 kilowatts, is being multiplied in 15 minutes by 90 times. Okay, you're going to be at a reactor power level 90 times greater. So now we can take that 90 times 150 kilowatts, and our final power is going to be 13,503 kilowatts. Or at this point, we're now able to power 13,503 electric skillets. And before, we were only 150. So in 15 minutes' time, we really brought this reactor up quite a bit in power. Now, we don't normally want to, a lot of times with units, we want to only have 3 digits to the left of our unit. And here we've got 5 to the left of our kilowatts. So let's go ahead and go up to our next SI unit conversions. And remember that you have kilowatts is equal to 10 to the third power. Megawatts is the next normally used SI prefix. Well, I can't quite draw, but we're going to try one more time here. And megawatts are 10 to the 6th. So we're going to be wanting to go up 2 megawatts. So if we want to change this, power final equals 13,503 kilowatts. Let's use our unit conversions and say, well, let's go back to base units and say, well, 1 kilowatt we know is equal to 1 times 10 to the third watts. And we also know that if we're wanting to go to megawatts, that 1 megawatt is equal to 1 times 10 to the 6th watts. And in doing that, then we can cross out our kilowatts. Our kilowatts go away, our watts go away, and we're left with just megawatts. So if we take 13,503, multiply by 1,000, and divide by 1,000,000, we'll know how much reactor power will be left here. Now, when you're doing this in the calculator, you take 13,503 times 1 times 10 to the third times 1, divide by 1, everything's okay until you divide by that 1 times 10 to the 6th. And I really want to encourage you that on your calculators that you use the EE or the EXP button. Because if you don't, what will happen is your calculator knows order of operations probably better than you do. And if you don't do that, it's going to take everything, it's going to divide by 1, and then as soon as you say times 10 to the 6th, it's going to multiply the whole thing by 10 to the 6th or by 1,000,000. But what you really want to happen is for it to continue to be divided by 1,000,000. So you either got to put parentheses around that, or you punch this in as 1 times, or 1 EE or EXP to the 6th. When you get all done, the correct answer should be 13.5 megawatts. So our final answer, after 15 minutes at a plus 200 second reactor period, we'll have a final power of 13.5 megawatts.